Hello and welcome to Philosophy Vibe, the channel where we discuss and debate different philosophical ideas. Today we're going to be discussing the shopping cart theory.
Interesting.
So, we might be a little late to jump on this, and this is slightly different to the usual academic philosophical theories we tend to debate. Nonetheless, I found the shopping cart theory a really interesting ethical discussion, and I thought it would be worth looking into. For those who are not aware, the shopping cart theory was in fact a popular meme that was circulating the internet in 2019. It is a simplified yet fascinating take on how a shopping cart at a supermarket can in fact be a great predictor in morality and self-governance. In this video, we're going to explain the shopping cart theory and debate whether this holds any philosophical and ethical truth.
Great, so please explain the theory.
Okay, let's get the meme up. So it goes as follows. The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task, and one which we all recognise as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart is objectively right. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart, and you gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return the shopping cart because it is the right thing to do, because it is correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal, an absolute savage who can only be made to do what is right by threatening them with a law and the force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is a good or bad member of society.
Okay, so there is a lot to unpack here.
Indeed. Let's look at it. I think this is entirely accurate. So you've gone shopping, you use a cart, you finish loading up your car. Now you can just abandon the cart, get in your car and drive away. This is the easier option for you. You don't have to delay your exit, you don't have to walk back to the cart section and drop it off and then walk back to your car. You can do the easy thing and just leave it there and drive off. If you do that, nothing will actually happen to you. There's no punishment. And if you take it back to the cart section, there's no reward. There's no incentive to drop it back and no punishment for abandoning it. Yet, by abandoning it, you make your life a little easier. So the only reason you have to return the cart is a purely ethical one. You return the cart because it is the right thing to do. You do it to make life easier for the next shopper. By returning the cart, you are clearing out the parking lot, making it tidy and easier for people to park. You're also doing it so the carts are ordered and findable. You return the cart only to make life easier for someone else, to make society a little bit better. That is the morally right thing to do and proves you are one who can self-govern. You don't need punishment and reward to do the right thing.
Okay, so here is my challenge. I would say that it is not clear-cut that returning the shopping cart is morally right. In fact, not returning the cart could in fact generate more overall good.
How so?
If everyone abandoned their carts, this would make the parking lot a mess and it would be a huge inconvenience for shoppers. In order to keep people shopping there, the supermarket would most likely hire someone to collect the abandoned carts and keep an orderly cart section. This would result in more people being employed, more people in work. Abandoning the cart actually creates more jobs. So, by returning your cart, you are potentially robbing someone of a job. Perhaps abandoning your cart is actually the morally right thing to do.
No, I don't think that's a good argument at all. Firstly, no one is abandoning their shopping cart specifically with unemployment reduction in mind. They will only do it because it's convenient, because they are selfish, and they are perfectly fine in leaving a mess behind them for others to find for their own self-interest.
Regardless of intention, it would generate more jobs and overall more well-being. Based on the utilitarian principle, it is entirely reasonable to then view the abandonment of of the cart as morally right. Also, you don't know what everyone is thinking. Perhaps some people are not doing it for convenience, but because of the additional jobs.
But think how ludicrous that is. You're basically saying, leave a mess behind you so someone can be employed to pick it up. Where else would you use that reasoning? Should you litter the streets so someone is employed to clean them up? Is throwing your trash in the streets now morally good? How about fly tipping? How about human excrement? Someone has to clean it up. What about graffiti and vandalism? Let's promote that as it will create more jobs. It's just nonsense. In addition, that extra job the supermarket has to create to clean up the carts means more cost for them. More cost for them means higher prices for the consumer. So you abandoning your shopping cart means everyone else's food shopping goes up. Using the utilitarian principle, this can be seen as a negative, and so it can still be argued as morally bad.
Okay, fine. But does this meme consider that not all people are in fact able to return their carts?
Well, yes, it does say other than dire emergencies, which is reasonable. If you're loading your shopping into your car and your partner suddenly has a heart attack, rushing off to get them to a hospital and abandoning your cart seems fair enough.
Yes, but what about people with children? Leaving your children unattended is not a good idea, so abandoning your shopping cart may be necessary. There may be those with mobility issues who physically cannot return their cart. I think it's unfair to label these people as morally bad.
Would this not be covered under the dire emergency?
No, I don't think so. Dire emergency would be like your heart attack example, or perhaps gunfire in the parking lot. It doesn't cover leaving children unattended or physical issues. So, would you consider a mother who is afraid to leave their baby unattended as a morally bad person because she abandons her shopping cart?
No, I wouldn't.
There you go.
Okay then, so based on that rebuttal, if you are able-bodied, without children, and you still abandon your shopping cart, you would agree that constitutes a morally bad person.
The term morally bad is such a debatable concept. We know this from the years of ethical debates we've had. Can one instead argue that the returning of the shopping cart is just a societal expectation and not in itself a universally moral one? It is just what our society expects, and as we know societal norms are not always right, we know that slavery was once commonplace, so was infanticide and child labour and all of this. So if it's just a societal expectation, then one cannot be considered morally bad for abandoning their shopping cart, but just socially undesirable.
I don't think that's accurate. Returning the shopping cart may be considered a societal norm in terms of a supermarket, parking lot and shopping carts being part of your society, but the reason we return the cart is not a social norm. The reason we return the cart is so we don't create unnecessary mess in our towns and we don't inconvenience other people, making it difficult for them to park or to find a cart. The reason we return the cart is to make the town or village we live in more pleasant. This is not a cultural or social norm, but just being a good human being and wanting to live in a more pleasant, peaceful world with other human beings. This isn't unique to a society, but part of the human experience. And so going against this would make you a morally bad human.
But is that not itself rooted in self-desire? It seems the reason one does not abandon their shopping cart is because they don't want a messy parking lot. I think it's right to assume that if there was a supermarket that was notorious for its shoppers abandoning their carts, then most people who shop there would abandon their carts. Even if they return them in other supermarkets, they would abandon them at this one because it's already a mess.
Maybe not everyone, but sure, I could probably agree with that.
Right. The reason is because no one else respects the tidy parking lot and respects the carts, then they will not either.
Sure.
So really, the returning of the cart is because one desires to shop at a tidy supermarket with a tidy parking lot. It's not about morality, but rather a selfish desire to maintain a more pleasant shopping experience. Returning the cart is a selfish act, as if you abandon your cart, others may start, and the next time you go shopping, that particular supermarket will be a mess, with carts blocking parking spaces and scattered around the parking lot, or perhaps higher prices because because of the new staff needed. Either way, returning the cart is done out of pure selfishness. Maybe abandoning your cart does not make you a bad person, but someone who just goes against their own self-interest.
I think if you were the only one creating a mess in an otherwise pleasant, peaceful town, you are morally wrong here. A tidy parking lot may be a selfish desire, but other shoppers are still going through the inconvenience of returning the cart. If you expect a tidy parking lot but will not go through the inconvenience of returning the cart, then I agree with the meme.
But what if you have made the conscious decision, you have thought about it, you have weighed it up, and you would rather be inconvenienced in parking and finding a cart, rather than inconvenienced in returning the cart? You have made that trade-off. You are prepared for a messy parking lot in exchange for abandoning the cart. If that's the case, then abandoning your cart is actually reasonable.
No one would reasonably desire this.
Says you.
No civilized human would make that trade-off. So the meme is still correct. You're an animal or a savage. Furthermore, if the entire town is returning the cart, surely you have a duty to your fellow townsmen to return the cart.
So now we are back to the societal expectations and not universal moral law, rendering any language around morally right or wrong as completely unfair. It is about socially accepted or not accepted.
But if it's accepted or not accepted amongst most of the human race, then surely this is greater than a cultural expectation, but it becomes a human expectation, which is what morality is.
Whoa, that is a huge philosophical claim, and that is a massive debate in itself.
True. Picking up on that, if you are interested in ethics, then Philosophy Vibe has some great books you definitely need to read. John and I have spent years discussing and debating philosophy, and we have compiled the scripts to our videos into our own book set. If you are watching this video and you've come this far, then you definitely have an interest in ethics, so please check out either our ethics ebook available on Amazon, or for the really deep ones out there, we have our Ethics and Political Philosophy paperback anthology, also available on Amazon. It's a great read, a great study guide, and great for those interested in moral and political philosophy. All sales really help out this channel, and we really appreciate it. But that's all the time we have for now. Thank you for watching, we hope you enjoyed the vibe, and what does everyone else think? Is there any truth to the shopping cart theory meme? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share, and for more philosophical debates, please subscribe to the channel. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye bye.